Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Is life good or what?
Yes.
Absolutely. Look around for just a moment and see all the beautiful people that you've been swimming in this ocean of devotion with. But do more than that. As you're looking at all of these beings, open your heart and allow for your expanded awareness to embrace everyone in this room. And you can do that because you know you're not in this room. This room is in your field of awareness. So you can begin to embrace these beings right now with an inner desire that they be set free from any sense of lack or limitation whatsoever. That they become absolutely awake to the divine spark of divinity that is seeking to express by all of these unique, distinct, individualized expressions of the ultimate. Just have that as an inner desire. And then be aware that, as you know by law, you only get to keep what you give away. That is the universal law. So right now, give all the love, all the abundance, all the prosperity, hope that and desire that everyone in here reaches their highest potential for the day. Do it right now and give yourself a shout. Yes, yes, yes. Now, increase the field by looking at one person next to you and let them stand in proxy for the entire 800 or 900 people that are here in this room. Look at that person, look them up and down, and just say, my. There is so much good in you. There is so much power in you. There is so much love in you. There is abundance in you. Prosperity is in you. Wisdom is in you. And you have come to set it free. To make a mighty difference on this planet. And to change the world for the better. Let's be this. Let's do this together in the here and now. And so it is. Touch and agree. Touch and agree. High five, handshake, whatever the case may be. And understand that vision had a vision. Vision had a vision. And this vision includes this field that is being generated right now. Now, all of you know that we generate a field of love and beauty and intelligence. A field that is real and as rich as magnetism, gravity, which are all fields that can be measured even though the sensorium can't catch them. And so the field that you have been generating since the moment you had an intention to be at the Mindvalley this weekend is rich and real, and it's been amplified with every speaker, with every process, with every practice, with every high conversation, with every hug. You are magnifying this field that is being generated from the very depth of your being of love and beauty and intelligence and joy and wisdom. It is a field that as it becomes stabilized within you, you then become impervious to the lesser fields that run through the gamut of the human experience, the fears of doubt and worry, lack and limitation, scarcity, separation, not enoughness, self-loathing. Those fields, after a while, cannot disturb you because as you continue to co-generate this field and become stabilized in it, then you vibrate so high, you become impervious to those fields. And even though those thought forms may pass through your awareness, the background in your consciousness is the joy, the wisdom, the harmony as real spiritual qualities. These qualities of love and peace and joy, wisdom and harmony and intelligence are not philosophical bents of mind. They're not beliefs. These qualities are real, dynamic, and by means of you are seeking to become more conscious of themselves as your very life and being. And so you already know at some level of your awareness that you have arrived here on earth. You chose to be here at this time in human history, that your moment on planet earth is not accidental, regardless of what your parents may have told you. It was not accidental that you are shot from the mind of the infinite on purpose, with a purpose to reflect and to reveal the cosmos in a way that has never happened before. And loaded and coded within in you is a destiny. That is a divine, you know this, is a destiny. A divine idea that contains the entire cosmos, yet is uniquely configured to your particular pattern. You, as a distinct and unique expression of infinite potential, there is a destiny within you that's untouched and untarnished by time and circumstance and history and interpretation of your past. There is something about you, your real nature and being, that you have come to set free and allow that dynamic destiny to unfold, so that you do not leave this planet not one day before your song is sung, not one day before your dance is danced, not one day before your gift has been given. So that with the awareness that you chose to be here, with the awareness as the Dagara tribe, the tribe that the Malidoma Some comes from, they like to say that you have arrived on earth with a cargo. Everyone has brought a huge cargo. Everyone has brought gifts, talents, and capacities. Everyone has brought something to share and to circulate and to give and to be generous with. No one has arrived to get anything from the world. Listen to what I just said. No one has arrived to get anything from the world. Let's not get it twisted. You have come as a distributor of divine gifts to give to the world, to share, to shine, to glow, to radiate, to reveal, to source. You have come to give. Now here's the deal. The moment your mind, now remember, you have a mind. You're not the mind, you have a mind. And oftentimes the mind is a set of programs that are operating independent of your expanded awareness of who and what you are. And you are here to, as I like to say, to take back your mind so it's no longer hijacked and programmed by worry, doubt, fear, and separation. But the moment your mind is under the law of generosity, growth, development, unfolding, giving, compassion, kindness, radiance, beamation, means that you're beaming. The moment that happens, you come under the right use of the law. The moment you realize you're here to give something, then all thoughts of not enoughness and lack and limitation and fear, doubt, worry, and separation begin to dissolve, and your premise every single day of your life is I am, and I've got it all. I am, I've got it all. I am, I've got it all. And everyone who has it all in their right frame of mind, then the universal presence by means of its law operates through you, and you become a place through which more and more and more and more of the love and the harmony and the peace and the right action takes place in your life. Your destiny begins to unfold, because you're not here to get from the world. You're not here to get, you are here to let. You're not here to get, you are here to let. You're not here to get, you're here to let the light shine, the flow happen. So everyone who walks with an awareness, and this is a part of your spiritual practice, I've already got it, now I got to let it out of me. I got a story, I got a life, I got beauty, I got joy, I got a cargo. Now I want to give it. I want to share it. At that moment, you've come under the right use of the law. And the law, the universal mind of law, the universal law of mind in action, which vibrationally matches to your chronic thinking and your perception. At that moment, the sense of separation is dissolved. And out of no thing whatsoever, out of nothing whatsoever, but an idea of giving, an idea of sharing, an idea of becoming more yourself, an idea of unleashing your destiny, that vibrational match occurs and you unfold. That is, the idea within you unfolds to reveal its infinite nature. Are you picking up what I'm putting down here? Are you catching this? You catching it? You catching it? In other words, there is an energetic idea, a frequency of information about you. Just as within every seed, there's information in that seed about the type of plant or tree that seed will become when it is placed in the proper condition. Within you is a divine idea that has infinite potential and infinite possibilities about your unfolding. And when placed within the proper condition, that idea unfolds, and it does not take, it reveals. It unfolds. It does not improve. It unfolds to reveal what is already there. You understand what I'm saying? Many of you have probably seen the experiment where they have taken a very small tree, weighed the tree, and placed it in a vat or a bathtub full of dirt. They weighed the dirt, they weighed everything, they placed the tree in the bathtub, and then they began to water it, give it its proper light, etc. And the tree grows, it becomes very substantial. They take the tree out, they weigh the tree, it's grown it's grown at a very great magnitude. It weighs a lot more than it was when it was a little sapling. And then they go back and weigh the dirt. And the dirt is the same weight that it was when the little sapling went in. That the tree didn't take anything from the dirt, but the dirt and the water and the nutrition and the sunlight activated the energy, the energetic information within the tree, so that literally almost out of nothing, the tree flourished and became itself. Now within you, there is an idea. There is a destiny. There is a unique pattern that does not come from the world, doesn't come from society, doesn't come from your parents, doesn't come from anything already out there. It comes from you. And when you nurture that idea, when you begin to place yourself in the right condition of which you are in right now, this is a vibrational condition of luminosity and brilliance and self-love and appreciation and generous heart and high conversation. When you place yourself in that right condition and you do it on a regular basis through spiritual practice, then this idea that you are, the grand idea held within the mind of the infinite, powerful destiny, begins to unfold. And as it's unfolding, it becomes a law unto itself, and it does not tarry with yesterday. It doesn't know circumstance. It only knows its own idea. So it's not blocked by any mistake you may have made in the past. It's not blocked by anything anyone may have said about you. It's not blocked by anything you think you may be missing. It's an idea all of its own, and in the right condition, it flourishes and it flowers to reflect and to reveal the mighty cosmos in a way that has never, ever happened before. You have this gift within you as destiny, as a destiny. You have the power within you. You are an endogenous being, meaning your environment is created from within. Exogenous means that the external environment determines your destiny. A palm tree can't grow in Antarctica. And so it's exogenous. It has to be in a nice sunny place. But you can thrive anytime, anywhere, because you are endogenous, meaning you create your own environment for your own flourishing. So by being here, by celebrating, by loving, by meditating, by praying, by studying, by guarding your conversation and keeping it high, keeping it possibility, keeping it potential, you endogenous being you, Begin to allow the flowering of the Spirit to take place, and out of nothing external whatsoever, the giftedness of your soul begins to emerge. Now, you heard me say that the external world can't block it. As a matter of fact, as you took your incarnation, you knew the turbulence you would be facing during this Renaissance period in our human history. And it is a renaissance. The individuals that were in the previous renaissance, they didn't know they were in a renaissance until many years later when somebody wrote about it. But you're in a renaissance period right now where the old is rising up to die off and the new is emerging. Something you knew you would be in this renaissance period, and you know somewhere within you that you did not come to conform to the present paradigm. As a matter of fact, the opposite of courage is conformity to an old paradigm. That is the opposite of courage. You came not to walk lockstep in the present society the way it looks now. You have come to break the chains and anything that binds us to the present paradigm so that the new can emerge. And so the personality of you seeks self-preservation, how to survive, coping mechanisms, defense mechanisms, compulsive behaviors to fit into this society. But your soul wants to break free and unfold. It is carrying the intense future of unfolding of our species. And so you have come at this time in human history to not walk lockstep in the present society, but to begin to vision and see and articulate fluently what we could be as humans, what we could be as a society, what we could be as a kind and just global world, and as endogenous beings begin to pull it up from within us and walk in that awareness even before it manifests, even before you can see it. I know what I'm talking about here. Let me tell you. Understand this. The world, as you see it, is an artifact of a previously held point of view that has condensed itself into human experience, structures, governments, things of that particular nature. But what you see in the world is an artifact of a previously held positionality and point of view. The eyes are always looking at the past. Everything that you see that is downloaded was once a positionality. It was once an opinion. It was once a point of view. It was once a perception. You who are growing spiritually are not to just simply learn how to move through the artifacts of an old world. You are the ones who are carrying the new world. That which can't be seen by everyone. That which can't be heard by everyone. You're to begin through this vibrational matching with your destiny to walk in that kind and just global world, to walk in a society that's heaven bent on generosity and circulation, that's heaven bent on taking care of everyone, that's heaven bent on including everyone across the spectrum of nationalities and ethnicities and sexual orientations, and you are to be the ones who are to walk in that dynamic even before it is visibly seen, because that which is visibly seen is an artifact of an old perception, stinking and dying. You're not here for that. You're here to be midwives. Yes. You are here to absolutely hospice that which is dying, into midwife that which is seeking to be born through and as your very life. You're more powerful than you think you are. You're more beautiful than you think you are. You're more magnificent than you think you are. And there is nothing out there, supposedly out there, that's more powerful than this luminosity, this light, this brilliance, this magnificence that says, I am what thou art what I am, that wants to express itself so fully and completely that you live in a perpetual yes. A perpetual, yes, I am. A perpetual, yes, I can. A perpetual, yes, I am willing. So that the great destiny that's loaded and coded within every cell of your body temple, even the spaces between the cells, full of infinite potentiality, that your sacred yes carries that dynamic. So that wisdom and guidance and direction flowing through you in a way that you can understand moves through you with an ease, a grace, and a spiritual dignity. Why are you here? And I don't just mean why you're here on the planet. Why are you here at this particular time in this particular room? You are here to, one, learn the difference between choice and decision. Decision, which has the word incision in it, means to cut away. You are here to consciously begin to strip and cut away that which no longer serves you. You're to make a decision. That is to cut away the habits that no longer serve you, to cut away the opinions, the conversations, the points of view, all the excuses. You're here to cut away. And through spiritual practice, then you grow into choice. Choice and decision are not the same thing. Choice is a function of expanded awareness. Decision is cutting away that which no longer serves you. When you enter into a moment and you feel the connection of yourself with the presence, and you have a moment of expansion of your perception into expanded awareness, now you're operating from choice. You can see clearly, and you can choose to serve the presence. You can choose to serve love. You can choose to serve peace. Choice is a function of expanded awareness. Choice is something you do every day, and everyone has to make choices and decisions. Everyone has to choose to cut away that which no longer serves them so that they can live in a perpetual choice until the choice becomes choiceless, a choiceless choice where your total subjective awareness is leaning towards unfoldment, leaning towards evolution, leaning towards growth, leaning towards becoming more and more and more your real self. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Are you catching this? Are you catching this? You are here to move through the stages of that deep sense of gratitude for being alive and making it conscious gratitude. And that first level of conscious gratitude is to allow for your mind to go on a hunt for everything to be grateful for. You give it something to do, so that it's not just running around looking for negative things to be afraid of. It's not just, your mind just isn't programmed anymore towards worst case scenarios. Anytime something happens, the mind just starts going towards, the worst thing that could possibly happen. And the next thing you know, your body's feeling that, and you're producing toxic chemicals. You prematurely age yourself. You create the condition for disease, and nothing has even happened yet. No. You're programming your mind to live in a state of perpetual gratitude. And so the first thing is that you become grateful for everything. You just look around and see what you're grateful for. The heart is beating. The lungs are extracting the necessary elements for you to stay alive. You're able to have certain faculties being, whatever it is, you just let the mind go on a hunt every single day to be grateful. Every day when I wake up and I put my feet on the ground, I throw my arms open, and I am grateful for my life. I'm just grateful. And then I surrender to life, and then I say, what's my assignment? What am I to do today? Bring it across my path. Every single day, you wake up. First stage, be grateful for everything. Second stage, you learn to be grateful for all the tough stuff happening in your life. Woo! That's some strong muscles right there. You know, you've come to come into the earth school weight room. You know, I got to be grateful for this. Ooh, I got to be grateful. Oh, ooh, yes. You become grateful for all the tough stuff. And you increase those gratitude muscles to such a degree that you blossom into being grateful for nothing at all. Just, why are you smiling? What's going on? I'm grateful for what? Nothing. What you grateful for? Nothing. I'm just grateful. And then what happens is, and many of you know this, if you were raised by parents such as mine, sometimes my mother would say to one of my brothers, listen, if you don't stop crying, I'm going to give you something to cry about. That's not just in the black culture, is that kind of universal? All right. So this is how the universe operates. The universe says, if you don't stop being grateful, I'm going to give you something to be grateful for. So that's what the universe says. You keep on being grateful. I'm going to give you something to be grateful for. And so out of nothing, out of no thing whatsoever, your vibration of gratitude allows you to embrace yourself as an endogenous being, creating your environment from within. You're not waiting for external cues to be grateful. You're not waiting for everything to line up to be grateful. You're not waiting for all your plans to unfold the way you want them to be grateful. No. We're not allowing the tail to wag the dog. We start off with gratitude, thanksgiving, and appreciation. We start off with, I got cargo. We start off with, I got gift. We start off with, everything that the universe is within me already. We start off with, I am and I have. That's the premise. That's the starting point. I've got a great destiny. Even if you don't know what it is right now, I've got a great destiny. It doesn't matter what the biological age is, whether you're super young or society calls you super old. It doesn't matter. You start off with, I am. I am grateful. I got it all. And then there becomes an inner vibrational match within you. And then the universe matches that vibrationally. Doors open. Barriers fall down. The vibrational structures of an artifact world held together by previous perceptions begin to disintegrate. And you live in an entire different world. Understand this. There is a big difference between the planet and the world. They are not the same thing. The planet, Gaia, Mother Earth, a living entity that's conscious and becoming more and more conscious, vibration increasing every year. Over the past 30 years, scientists have shown us that the frequency and the vibration of the earth has increased yearly. Now, the indigenous cultures have been telling us this for hundreds of years, that Mama Earth is alive and awake and aware and becoming more and more conscious, you see. And 3/4 water, mountain ranges, rainforests, rivers, land, Mother Earth. And then there is the world. The world is not the earth. The world is held together by a synergetic network of opinions, conversations, points of view, positionality, perceptions, and perspectives that creates a world. Two people can be standing in the same place on the planet, but be in two different worlds. Two different worlds. Based on perception, opinion, belief, points of view. So we are not here to save the world. We're here to serve the new paradigm that's trying to arise. People say, do you think these teachings and these spiritual practices can save the world? I say, hell no. What kind of, you want to save that world of bigotry and homophobia and racism and greed and stinginess and consumerism and all of that kind of, you want to save that world? No. We're here to serve the new world that is arising. We're here to serve a new perspective. We're here to serve, not save, but serve a higher order of being. Now, when you begin to understand there's a difference between the world and the planet, and now you realize you're an endogenous being creating your own inner environment for your own unfolding, and you begin to have the capacity to see a vision and be pulled by it. See and be pulled by it. Then you begin to understand the difference between individuals who are living in the dying paradigm and the media that is emerging from that dying paradigm, it becomes so easy to see that these individuals are reporters from a dying paradigm. They're reporting from something that's decaying. They're reporting from something that's decadent, decadence, out of cadence with the fundamental harmony of the unfolding destiny of humanity. And then you look at yourself and you realize that you are a reporter from the new paradigm. That's who you are. You've got your Mindvalley credentials. Where are you from? I'm a reporter of the new paradigm. Let me tell you what it looks like. So every insight, every revelation, every time you catch an aha about possibility, and then you begin to do the inner work to stabilize it, and you begin to walk in that awareness, you become a reporter of the new paradigm, and you can literally see, oh, decadence, cadence. Decadence, cadence. Decadence, you can see the difference. And with the awareness that a single thought that is emanating from a sense of oneness, a sense of love and beauty, carries an amplitude way more powerful than a thought form that's emanating from a sense of scarcity. Now, all of you saw Vision when he was working with the particular biofeedback mechanisms in meditation. I do that as well. I've been doing that for a number of years. And you can literally see that a thought form that's emanating from a sense of separation does not have the gain or the power that a thought form that's emerging from a sense of coherence, whether it's alpha or theta or delta, which means for all of us here, that small groups of people that are vibrating with a sense of coherence around love, around peace, around harmony, around abundance, around joy, around generosity, individuals who are beginning to report from the new paradigm through real insight and encounter and revelation, way more powerful than thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are still operating from a limited scope of seeing reality, that are still operating only from their personality and not from their soul. You become way more powerful. And as you stay with it, as you continue to do your inner work, the new emerges out of the field, the same field I talked about when we first started here. The new emerges out of that field, and nothing can stop it. In the old paradigm can have so much technology. They can have so much weaponry. They can have so much placing a hypnotic spell on the society. But one with God, one with the presence is a majority. One and two together, seeing that which is real, stabilizing in reality, embracing the cosmic destiny that is unfolding, way more powerful. And ultimately, the old is swallowed up, rolled into a scroll called history, and the mystery takes over. We go from history to the mystery of our unfolding, of which the sensorium cannot see, but the heart and soul knows what it is. You know you've got a great destiny. You know it. You know it. You know it. And so you have the total embrace of gratitude. You have the embrace of the cargo and the gifts that you're carrying. No one is cut adrift. Everyone has it all, but it must be discovered through spiritual practice. Everyone must discover it. And then you develop a conscious sense of humility, beginner's mind humility, a love of being in the unknown, because the mystery is constant. There's always more that you don't know than you do know. Always. Whatever it is you know is infinitesimally small compared to the unlimited, infinite presence that is everywhere. So it gives you a pure sense of humility. So humility brings about power. And that humility allows you to lean into an availability. And I'm not talking about helplessness. I'm talking about an availability that allows you to ask for help continually. You're always available to ask for help, even though you're standing in the knowingness that the presence is for you and that there's nothing against you. You're standing in awareness that all of life is for you, that you have everything that you need already within you. It's a paradox of hanging in the awareness of, I got it all, it needs to be activated, and I need some help here. I'm open. I'm available. I'm receptive. I receive. I allow. And in that space of starting with, I've got everything I need, and the beginner's mind, and holding on to the space of, I don't know everything, I need help here. In that paradoxical space, spaciousness occurs. And instead of you're trying to make something happen, that which has already happened in the mind of the infinite and carries infinite ways of expressing gets to begin to flow through you. I may have mentioned it at one point, but this came home so clear to me a couple of years ago when I was in Costa Rica. I was teaching there at the Rhythmia Life Advancement Center, and I went swimming in the ocean. And me and my daughter were the only ones on the beach this particular day. And I got caught in a riptide way out in the ocean. And I wasn't aware that I had gotten that far out until I turned around and saw my daughter on the beach, and she was like a little ant. And so I decided I just should get back in. And I couldn't get back in because of the riptide. And I swam to the side to get out of the riptide, but it was a double riptide. And so my mind was exhausted. My body was exhausted, I was exhausted, and I was trying to get in, I was trying to stay afloat, and I was just so tired. And at one point, I went underwater and swallowed a lot of water, and when I went under, there was such a deep sense of peace. And I thought, I was aware at that moment that I wasn't afraid of death, that I know there's no such thing as death. There's just a passing from one state of awareness to that same state, but without a body. And as I was there just underwater, this thought went across my mind, a lot of people are going to be upset if you don't get in. I popped back up, and I programmed my mind. I programmed it. I said, regardless of how tired the body gets, don't give up. I just programmed it. Regardless of how tired the body gets, do not give up. And then what came out of my mouth was, help, I need some help here. And at first it wasn't conscious. I didn't consciously think, I want help. It just came out, help, I need help here. And then I consciously embraced it. I need some help here. I need some help here. I need some help. And then there was like a stillness, like a lull, and then this wave came. Gave me some momentum. Then another wave came, more momentum. Third wave came. More momentum. And then it still took me a long time to get in, but I got in, and when I remember my feet first touched that sand, it was heaven. And I laid on my back, and my heart was beating so fast. I was just breathing so hard. I was so tired, but I was so glad to get back. And so then I'm back in Los Angeles, and I'm talking to a medium friend of mine. And I'm telling her about the deal. I said, I was caught out in the riptide and blah, blah. And she said, can I look? I said, yeah, go ahead and look. So she closed her eyes and did her thing. And she said, oh, I see you asked for help. I said, I did. And she said, well, the moment you asked for help, an archangel reached down and gave you 3 waves. And she said, you are aware that the angelic kingdom and the realm of the ancestors, they can't intervene unless you ask for help. They cannot. They cannot interfere with your free will. The moment you said, I need some help here, at that moment they could jump in. We're waiting to help you, but you're not asking for help. But the moment I said, I need some help here, angelic presence moved 3 waves. I still had to get in on my own effort, but I had help. I had momentum. I had support. You must not be afraid to ask for help. You must not be afraid to ask for help. So you have the dynamic awareness that there's an intense destiny within you. You have an awareness that you are to move through the stages of gratitude. You have an ever-increasing awareness that you already got cargo. You have everything within you. It needs to be uncovered, discovered, activated, ultimately expressed. The mind must be programmed that you already have it so that you're coming out of any sense of victimhood by not having, and that the world doesn't have anything for you. You've brought something to the world. And then standing in awareness of every day asking for help. I need some help here. I'm available. I'm humble. I'm not a know-it-all. I'm a beginner. Wherever we are in our spiritual practice, we're barely scratching the surface. Whether we're a veteran of meditation for many years, or affirmative prayer, or study, or life visioning, whatever the case may be, wherever we are barely scratching the surface. And so with that kind of humility, now we're not blocking the flow of life, not blocking the flow of divine intelligence. And we're beginning to be the reporters of a world that only few can see because it is not seen with the eyes or the physical ears. It is seen with the transcendent eye beyond the eye and the ears beyond the ears. That transcendent eye beyond the eye allows you to see the invisible. The ear that is beyond the ear allows you to hear the inaudible. And if you can begin to see the invisible and hear the inaudible, I think earlier Lisa Nichols played I Have a Dream by Dr. King. You see the invisible, you hear the inaudible, then we become the people that can do what the world calls is impossible. That's who we become. That's who we become. That's who we become. That's who we become. Once again, just feel the people around you. Feel the vortex of energy. Feel the field, the rich field that is being created here. This field more powerful. This field more powerful than the lesser frequencies that are running the gamut through the human experience. And be aware that you are a part of the unfolding of the new world. It's actually timeless and ageless, but it's new because it's now birthing through humanity right here and right now. And you are to be aware that in this instant now, right this moment, now, right this moment, all of the power and all the presence and all the love and all the joy and all the beauty, all the intelligence is waiting to flow through you. And that individuals have the tendency to block this flow because they're too tense or because they're 3 tense. In other words, there's tenses in time, and then there is eternity. There's the past tense, there's the future tense, and then there's the present tense. But they're all tenses. In the past, there is shame and blame and sometimes immature pride. And in the future, there's ambition and fear. In the present, there's sometimes vanity and embarrassment. But the present is the closest to the now. The now is eternal, timeless being. And some people are more prone to living in the past. Some people are more prone to living in the future. If you're too prone to living in the future, you have ambition and fear. If you're too prone to living in the past, you have shame and blame. And so through your spiritual practice, time collapses. You have an insight, an encounter with the divine, which is timeless. And for an instant, you become an extemporal being. You're not in time whatsoever. Time and eternity have no relationship whatsoever. Time is a measurement of experience between distances or an experience of a thought form as it's being played out as an experience. But that which is eternal is forever. Love is timeless. Peace is timeless. Joy is timeless. Abundance is timeless. Elegance, beauty, timeless qualities. And in a moment, encounter, in the moment of aha, in a moment of insight, moment of revelation, through your spiritual practice, you become timeless. And then you become the individual that's seeing the invisible, and timelessness and the eternal begin to be in your step. You literally, figuratively, spiritually are bringing heaven to earth. You're bringing the eternal through every step that you take. And every time you have that encounter, through spiritual work and through soulful gatherings such as this, remember, you didn't come here to get high. You came here to get free, you see. You came to get free from the limiting perceptions, limiting paradigms. And every time you stabilize a little bit more. Now you walk in the world, but you're of the timeless. You're in the world, but you're not of it. You're of the timeless. You're of the eternal. You're of beauty. You're of joy. You're of wellness. You're of well-being. And then you're available to the mighty miracles. You start to normalize the miraculous. A miracle is an instant demonstration of that which is already here but covered up by limited perception. You start to normalize the miraculous. And you begin to prove that all of life is for you and not against you. Oh, I want you to know. You've got to know that there is a world trying to be born through you. You see the young folks in Florida who have broken free from the matrix. You see that new energy rising up. You see basketball players now saying, I'm going to talk and dribble. I've got something to say to the community. You see individuals taking a knee, really taking a stand for the best of our culture. You see, spoiler alert, even in the Black Panther movie, the protagonist at the end of the movie saying, in times of crisis, the wise build bridges and the foolish build walls. It's everywhere. Everywhere. This message is everywhere. We are the reporters of that which is trying to manifest. We are those reporters. So you give yourself a credential before you leave here. And you just give yourself any credential, create it, and just say, I'm a reporter of the new paradigm. I've got my credential. And then you check your mouth and notice whatever's coming out, is it a report from the old or is it a report from the new? And if you can create a practice of reporting from presence, possibility, if you can, and principle, presence, principle, and possibility. The presence is I describe God as a presence that's never an absence. Everywhere, love, beauty, joy, life, energy. Presence, principles, that's how it operates. The law of mind and actions, vibrability matched to your thought, your perception, your chronic way of thinking. The laws operate and reflect that back to you. And possibilities. You begin to not see problems, but you see possibilities. Because you know that the word problem comes from the word emblem. A problem is emblematic of the content in consciousness that's being projected onto the screen of life. So you don't tell God about your big problems. You tell your problems about your big God. You switch it around. Presence, principle, possibilities. That's what flows. And now you're a reporter of the new. You're in a renaissance right now. You're in a renaissance. These teachings, when I began teaching many years ago, these teachings were peripheral. Now they're central. They were hidden in occult books. People used to put a newspaper around the books because they didn't want anybody to know that they were reading about meditation or reading about manifestation. What you reading? Nothing. Now it's $1 billion industry, you see. And people aren't afraid to say that they can call something forth. They're not afraid to say that they know how to manifest. They're not afraid to say that they have a powerful destiny. That which was peripheral is now central and emerging everywhere. And so we're in this renaissance. Doesn't look like it sometimes because the old paradigm with the technology of the media is constantly giving you the lowest common denominator of the human experience. But fortunately, we have a president that mirrors the parade of evil so that we can see what it looks like. Before it was hidden with a suit and a tie. Now it's just that's what hate looks like. Oh, walls. Oh, we hate Muslims. Oh, we hate Mexicans. Oh, we hate gay people. Oh, that's what it looks. That's what the old paradigm looks like. Oh, we're going to give tax breaks just for the rich. Oh, that's what we're going to take away Medicare and Medicaid. Oh, that's what it looks. Oh, we want everybody to have guns. Oh my God, yes. Oh, so now we look like what the parade of evil looks like, as Lawrence Carter would call it. And so we give thanks. He's doing a great service. Maybe he came down for that. They need to see what this looks like. I'll do it. Give me some inspiration, Hitler. I'll do it. But now, with the juxtaposition of seeing narcissism, we can embrace what love looks like. You know what? I'm going to stop talking. But somebody, and it's you, it's all of us, somebody has to be strong enough and courageous enough to imagine and articulate what a kind and just global society looks like, okay? Right now, with the old paradigm, we imagine greater weaponry to protect us against enemies more than we imagine what a wonderful world it would be if we reached across borders and worked with each other. Somebody's got to be strong enough to have the right use of imagination and conversation. That's you. You're the reporters of that dynamic. That's who you are. That's who you are. And you do it with your heart open, embracing everyone, even people who disagree with you. Heart open, embracing everyone, no one left out. Lifting your frequency so that somebody has a choice because of the clearing house. You become a vibrational clearing house that begins to transmute the thoughts of fear, doubt, worry, separation, not enoughness, so that someone can be in an atmosphere. Perhaps they wake up in the morning and they start to think differently because of a choice you made. You see, we're all interconnected holographically and quantumly, entangled with each other. And as anyone is lifted up, we all are drawn into that higher frequency. Life is good. Life is good. Now, I was supposed to stop a little while ago. No, I'm not complete, but I was going to open it up for questions and comments and statements and revelations. Are there any questions, comments, or anything anybody want to ask during this time? Or comment or say? Let me just see. We love. Thank you. If there is a question, there is a mic runner right there. Something I said you didn't quite catch, or something you want to say. Go right ahead. State your name, state your where you come from, give us your bank account information, and your password.
Hi, my name's Angie. I currently live in San Francisco, but born and raised in Ohio. My question for you is when we are leaning into God's plan or God's will, what are some practical cues that we can download His message for us?
Right. When we're leaning, everybody heard that? Okay, first of all, God's will is always 100% for a greater expression of life. So when we speak of God's will, we're not speaking of a capricious, sometimey man in the sky that changes up. We're talking about a presence that is the same all the time, and the will of God is for a greater expression of God in your life. And so the way you can access that is by leaning into spiritually aerodynamic questions, such as, what gift am I supposed to give? Such as, what's trying to emerge in my life right now? You begin to lean into a question, and you live in that question for a while, so that eventually, the universe, through its law, the universe is the outpicturing of the mind of the infinite. It's progressive. It's always unfolding. It's always unfolding. Even when it contracts a little bit, it goes more towards expansion. And through its law, it answers every question that you ask. Now, the difficulty is that many people ask disempowering questions. Yes. People have a tendency to ask, what's wrong? What's wrong with me? Who's to blame? Why is this happening to me again? They spend a lot of time, and so what happens is, by law, the universe answers that question. And it begins to pull from the database of human consciousness all the reasons why something might be wrong with you. Your parents got a divorce. Your parents should have got a divorce. It'll just create all kinds of stuff to answer that question. And psychologically, we know you can get the answers to all the questions, but you still won't be healed, okay? Mm-hmm. So you have to ask an empowering question. And so you can ask, a couple of things. What good is here that I presently cannot see? What good is here that I presently cannot see? Now, if you live with that question for a few weeks, your spiritual faculty of seeing will begin to open up. And instead of seeing roadblocks and obstacles and hindrances, you'll start to see good and opportunities that have been here all the time, but you haven't been able to see them because you were focused on obstacles and getting rid of hindrances. You add, what good is trying to emerge through me right now? What gift am I to give? And I'm telling you, if you are sincere and ask the question, give it enough time to marinate within you until it becomes almost subconscious, answers will show up in dreams, visions, intuitive hunches. Yeah. You'll start to see differently, and you won't live in the world of obstacle. You'll live in the world of possibility. And the will of God, which is for a greater expression of life, will start to flow through you. Yes? Yes? Thank you, Angie.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. Why don't you just pass the mic to the individual right there, and then we'll go over to this side of the room.
Thank you. Hi. My name's Sayeda, and as you can tell from my accent, I'm not from the US.
No?
No. I'm from the UK, and this is the first time I have traveled to the States under the new government. So I'm presuming we're in a safe space, and I can talk, right? But my fifth trip to the US, and my fifth trip to the States, and so I cannot even tell you the amount of anxiety and fear and apprehension that I had when I booked my ticket, when I turned up to the airport, as I was going through immigration in the UK, all of those steps, right? So you get on the plane, and I tell you something that I did, and I hope you don't mind me sharing my story, but I did something that I found very powerful, because last time we got on a plane, I told my husband and my kids and myself off for not praying, and for not praying enough for asking for the journey to be easy. Right. So I said, next time, what we're going to do is we're going to set an alarm. We can watch our movies and all that stuff. Thor Ragnarok, amazing, right? But I will stop every hour and I will say a very short prayer.
Yes.
So I did that on my 13-hour flight to LA. Get to LA, tired, right? So you can imagine, I'm tired. I couldn't spell right 2 different ways. I was like, get to immigration, and I'm standing there with my British passport still in fear, and I'm thinking, is everything going to be okay? Messaging my husband and saying, I'll let you know when I'm at the other end, and all of these other things. So I meet this guy at the immigration counter, amazing-looking black guy, really, really big, really built. And I'm still scared, right? But then I look at his label and his name tag, and it says Mubarak. So a little bit of the fear reduces. And he said to me, the first words I received when I came to the States this time were, "Assalamu alaikum, sister." And I thought,
Alaikum salam.
thank you. And I felt so comfortable because of the interaction of one human being.
Yes, yes, yes.
And the reason I share this is because then obviously immigration, they're like, "What are you doing here? Why are you here?" Right? So I was talking about how I homeschool my kids, and he was telling me his story because he was homeschooled as well. I told him about the achievements of my kids. He shared the same things. And we connected, me, an average person from the UK, with this scary immigration officer in a level of connection that I have never had in my life. And that comes from intention and, for me, from prayer. It's very powerful. So I just want to say thank you for your message, because you touched me on levels I cannot even start to explain to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Two things. One, I'll say this to everyone who's going through that kind of anxiety, that this is the way the universe, everybody wants to be black, so now you know what it feels like. This is what we've been going through for years. This is now many people are joining the club. But I had a very similar experience in an airport. I wrote about it in one of my books, Spiritual Liberation, about once you understand your purpose, then it doesn't matter your job assignment. You transcend the job assignment, and you become a vehicle for the will of the presence. And as I was coming into Miami one time, and I needed to catch a plane, and the airport was so big, and it was an international flight, and a gentleman, a sky cap, walks out and says, "Out of nothing and nowhere, a way can be made. How can I help you, sir?" And I told him what we needed to do. He grabbed our bags. On the way, there was a little girl in a wheelchair. He asked the mother, could he pray for her? The mother said, yes. This is a sky cap. He stops. He prays for the person. He gets us all set up. And then he goes on. He's just on this desire to serve people. So he was not a sky cap. He was an angel from God, because he understood his purpose in life. When we understand our purpose, it doesn't matter our physical job description, because we can take any job we want and bring heaven to it. And that's what you had an opportunity for. So listen, just let me hear you scream about something good. Something. Woo! I know we're in the timeless, but we've run out of time. Peace and blessing, everyone. God bless you.